How's it going, guys? I hope you've been enjoying my GTA 5 content so far. I've been having lots of fun collecting vehicles in game, and I feel like Jay Leno with my humongous car collection, so I thought I'd take through my favourite cars from the game and showcase my collection from my various garages. Hopefully you'll agree that these are all tastefully modified. I'm personally not really into any massive body kits, big boy racer wings, luminous wheels or any of that silly coloured tyre smoke. There's a few of those big supercars missing from my little collection. Not only have I not been able to get hold of one either through the internet or find one on the streets, but I'm not personally as keen on those big supercars. I've got a couple in my little collection which I'll show you, but actually driving them on the street, although they are very fast, they are also quite large and you can never fit them through those gaps in traffic. But that's enough waffling, let's get straight into my showcase of my favourite cars in GTA 5. So first up, the one vehicle that's got to be my favourite purely because it's a good representation of the real life car, plus it's been an absolute nightmare trying to find and get hold of one of these things. That is the Vapid Dominator, which represents the Mustang GT. I've literally been looking for one of these things for hours, even days. I first got hold of one near the start of the game and then never seen one since. The game seems to have some strange kind of spawning system for the car where it kind of works on a playlist, so if you drive a certain vehicle, it'll then select a playlist according to that vehicle, and you often see certain models time and time again. I can't offer any particular advice for finding a Mustang, but I seem to find that it was related to the injection, you know, that Baja bug kind of thing. I found that if I went up to Sandy Shores, found one of these things, then drove it back to the city, this was when an opportunity to find a Mustang would arise. Obviously now I've actually found one, they're as common as muck and I now see them all over the place. I've gone for that classic Ford blue colour with some ultra blue pearlescent highlights, then finished it off with some white stripes. Another really sought after car that I've been struggling to find is the Coquette, which is a kind of a direct representation of the new Corvette Stingray. Like I mentioned about cars being linked to each other in a kind of playlist, I actually first discovered this one after finding that Mustang. Up till then I'd never even seen it before. With this one I've added some body styling with that front splitter and side skirts, and finished it off with that nice lava red colour scheme. One car I'm sure we've all got hold of in game is that $1 million Adder, which is based on the Bugatti Veyron. After discovering that you can pick one of these things up straight off the boulevard, it was one of the first vehicles in my garage, and I've customised it with a nice classy sophisticated champagne colour scheme. Another classic American muscle car I've got in my collection is what seems to be based on the Chevy Camaro / Dodge Challenger. Known as the Bravado Gauntlet in game, it's got a mix of styles from both these vehicles, and I've customised it with some classic American muscle styling with that bright red paintwork, white stripe and those fat muscle car wheels. One of the supercars in game that I did spend some money on and purchase off the internet is the Vacca, which is the representation of the Lamborghini Gallardo. Lamborghinis are one of the only cars that can pull off a garish colour scheme, so I've gone with that lime green. Like I mentioned, while supercars like this Vacca and that Adder are really fast in a straight line, I don't actually find them too good on the corners, and it's always difficult weaving in and out of traffic without absolutely wrecking them. So with that in mind, that's why I've got some of these smaller sports cars in my collection. First of which is the Grotta Carbonizzare, which seems to have influences of Aston Martin Zagato, Nissan GTR and a little bit of Ferrari in there too. This one's quite a popular one up in the Vinewood Hills, but I absolutely love the styling of it, so I've got one saved in my own garage. Plus being a convertible, it looks great with both the top up and down, obviously depending on the weather. One rare vehicle that you might not have seen in game is the Elegy RH8, which is based on the new Nissan GTR. This is one vehicle I've gone to town with the full body kit on, and I've also kept that awesome metallic graphite grey colour. One vehicle that's not that extraordinary or sought after is the Coil Voltic, which is based on the Lotus Elise and the Tesla Roadster, which is an electric car in real life, and that's continued in game with this car also being electric as the name suggests. This makes driving this car quite unique in that there's no engine sound, and it actually gets up to speed pretty fast with there being no gearing to go through. Also being pretty small and nimble makes it great for weaving in and out of traffic and lane splitting on those highways, so it's always a car I love to take out on those mountain roads or just to go razzing around the streets. This is another one I've tricked out with new bumpers, and of course being an electric car I've gone for that awesome electric blue colour. And one last special car I've had saved in my garage is the good old Sand King, which is this monstrous 4x4 truck. I'm pretty sure this is based on the Ford F250 maybe, and while it's not that uncommon in game, it definitely looks awesome, and it's one I keep to one side if I ever decide to climb up a mountain. There's loads of garish customization options for this vehicle. You've got loads of massive bumpers and fuel tanks that fit all over the sides, not to mention those massive 24-inch SUV wheels that really ruin this car's look in my opinion. I like to stick with the plain old off-road style with those big chunky tyres, so I've simply gone for blacked out grille and roll cage and maintained that lifted suspension. So that's my collection of special cars that I've got saved in my garage. I'll quickly run through the three main characters cars that I've customised. So first up we've got Franklin's Dodge Charger. With this vehicle I've kind of gone for the Death Race matte black style with some nice bronze rims. Again, I've just gone for the subtle body kit and quite a small spoiler, nothing too in your face or garish. As for Michael's vehicle, I've given his the Retmobile treatment and tricked it out with various Audi S-Line styling with the subtle bumper and side skirt trims, nice big chrome wheels and grille, and that classic Audi Daytona grey. Then as for Trevor's truck, there's only one colour that really suits his character, and that's hot pink. This is combined with those awesome bull horns and white off-road wheels to give it that complete Barbie beach buggy appearance. And there's one more vehicle in my collection that I thought I'd show you. If you remember, at the start of the game Franklin gets hold of a motorcycle, so I've gone and customised it to represent my motorcycle that I ride in real life with that nice white colour scheme. To be honest, this is quite a close match, so with it being one of the character's default vehicles, it's one that I've found myself cruising around on quite a lot, since it's one that you can't lose once it's discarded. It'll simply respawn back at your safe house. So as you can see, I've got a fair sized collection in GTA 5 of various cars and custom vehicles. Let me know down in the comments which one's your favourite out of my collection, or if there's any of your favourites that I haven't included. If you're also someone who enjoys customising cars in Grand Theft Auto 5, then stay tuned because I've got another little series planned, so stay tuned for that one. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all later.